Are you stressed out? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see anything super bad in the realm of relationship. Actually, we have the Lovers card here, which for a relationship reading, that's a pretty good card to have. Like, it's two people who have a really good understanding. It's two people who like are on the same page. Like, there's just like a sense of balance there, you know? But while we also have this card, we have the Nine of Swords here in the reverse, and the Nine of Swords is a card that's like overthinking. It's stuck in its head, it's over analyzing, and it like stresses itself out and gives itself anxiety because it's like over analyzing situations way too much, you know? And so this card is like, you need to get out of your head, you need to like come back to reality a little bit and focus on what's actually happening and not all of the what ifs and what could be's, you know? And then on top of that, we also have the Five of Swords here in the reverse. And the Five of Swords is a card that's been hurt in the past. You know, it's a card that's like, it's felt betrayal, it's felt stabbed in the back. And so it's still healing from that. And I think part of this is the healing that needs to happen. You know, it's still a little bit stuck on that betrayal and that hurt. And there's still a lot of, okay, let me make sure that I'm in a good place right now. That needs to be going on. But like the relationship itself, I don't see anything horrible with it, you know? Like, I don't see any red flags here. Does that make sense? I would just say, try and get out of your head a little bit more. You know? Focus on the realities of what's actually happening. Because that's what's going to really make the relationship a lot harder than it needs to be. You know what I mean? They are not going to be getting out in the next year. And the main reason why I say that is because we have the Two of Wands here in the reverse, which is a card where like things don't go the way you want them to. You experience a lot of difficulties and like sadness in this card also, but it's just like things not working out. We also have the Knight of Swords here, which is like a stressful, chaotic card, things feeling overwhelming. And then the Seven of Pentacles, which is also like this card is tired. This card literally is like, I've been putting in all this work and all this energy and it feels like it's not going anywhere or amounting to anything. You know, listen, here's my advice, right? This is just my advice, nothing to do with the cards. Maybe potentially back away from this relationship, right? And the main reason I say that is because I feel like currently you're putting your life on hold for this relationship, and I never encourage anyone to like wait for anyone or put their life on hold for anyone, you know? So that's just my own personal advice. So that way you can do things that make you happy and experience your life the way you want it to. So that's what I would suggest for you. I would really just say maybe back away, you know, do you, and if it's meant to be, it'll happen again. But right now I just feel like you're putting your life on hold and you're spending so much energy and time on that, and it's taking away from you. Honestly, things are looking a little chaotic, you know? Like, I would recommend that you not do too much of anything for the right now times. Like, because we have the Chariot in the reverse. The Chariot, it lacks direction, and so it just is kind of like all over the place. It's very chaotic. It doesn't have any of its focus and determination. It has the energy, just no focus and no determination and no like forethought, which usually with this card in itself, I would just be like, okay, let's try and slow things down. Let's try and like think things through. Let's try and make sure we're focused and that we're on the path that we want to be on, you know, and just giving ourselves a little bit more direction. But because we not only have this card, but we also have the Judgment card in the reverse, meaning that like we're not making proper judgments and we're not thinking things through properly, and some of the things that we think are correct aren't correct. Like, this card asks you to reevaluate some of your thought process because they're just wrong. You're not seeing the situation for what it is. You're not seeing things properly. That's why I say don't do too much of anything. In fact, take a step back. Take a step back and just spend some time with yourself. Because also we have the Queen of Pentacles here in the reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is a self-care card. It's like, okay, you need to take care of yourself. Have you been eating enough food? Have you been drinking enough water? Have you been getting enough sleep? Like, this is a card where it asks you to nurture yourself. You know, spend some time caring for yourself just a little bit. And especially when this card is in the reverse, you haven't been doing that, which makes things very chaotic. It takes away that sense of stability, that sense of safety, and things just end up being all over the place. So like for right now, I would suggest taking a step back, you know, zoning in with yourself, because that would be the best thing for you to do. Does that make sense? We also, for the next couple of months here, the next couple of months in general look pretty good. At first, we have the High Priestess in the reverse, which makes sense. This is a card where you're not connecting to yourself. You're not connected to your higher self, your intuition. And so this card like I said, ask you to take that step back and reconnect with yourself. You know, meditate a little bit more, do a little bit more self-care, and just make sure you're doing good, you know? So that's what this card asks you to do, and I think this is something that you should do first, and this is something that should be your main focus for probably the rest of this year and a little bit into next year. And then we have the Ace of Wands here, right? And the Ace of Wands is a card of new opportunities. It has a lot of motivation. It has a lot of passion. Like, this card is ready to get things going. And on top of these new opportunities, we also have the Eight of Wands here, which speaks about you receiving good news, you know? Especially in the realm of, like, business, career, work, relations, those types of things, getting some good news in that and just feeling that energy and being ready to get something started. So, that's pretty good. Honestly. That's crazy. Listen here. I would be cautious. Just focus on yourself. You have been feeling very directionless and want to get out, of your job and home and just get your next chapter going. I get that. But yeah, focus on yourself. Try and get some more direction. Try and get some more focus. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, that these three cards right here have a lot to do with your job. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles here in the reverse. Not only does the Knight of Pentacles like lack stability, lack that sense of safety, it lacks security, but it's very like fickle, you know? It doesn't really have the dedication that it needs to stick to something. It's just kind of like, it'll say it's going to do something sometimes and then it never does it. It'll be like, actually, I changed my mind and I don't want to do that anymore, you know? Especially when it comes to like work related stuff, you know? It'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, and then won't do it. So definitely, like, you can say you're going to be dedicated to some things, but you're just not going to have that dedication. You're not going to have that energy. You're not going to have, like, be willing to put in that focus just because you won't have it, you know? And then on top of that, we have the Tower here, and the Tower is one of those cards where, like, things just kind of come crashing down. I figured, you know, I can feel the zero drive here, you know? And, like, that boredom, that zero drive, it's really just going to make you become a lot more fickle and, like, not be able to really do some of the things that you are going to say that you're going to do. Not even want to do, because you're not going to want to do it, but, like, you'll be like, sure, and then be like, actually, I don't want to do that anymore. But that's because this Tower moment is happening, and it's like deconstructing everything, and it's like you see where things aren't working, and you're like, actually, I don't want this in my life. This is not for me. And so then you end up getting rid of a lot of things, and it gets very chaotic very fast, you know? But in a good way, because we also have the Devil here, and the Devil, you were waiting for it. You did indeed get summoned. The Devil card is a card where it's like, it's in this situation where it's feeling stuck, it's feeling controlled, potentially like something is manipulating it. Like, definitely it's in a situation where, like, the other party doesn't genuinely care and is only worried about what they can gain from controlling you, you know? So this, to me, feels like we're going to start breaking free from that. We're going to, like, be like, this isn't for me, I need to find something new, and, like, break away. But the process of breaking away, definitely going to be difficult and long, you know? Like, this gives me the vibe of these cards happened before the Ace of Wands card, you know? Like, if I had to give you a timeline, let me see. I would say all of this deconstruction and, like, getting rid of all of those things are probably going to happen in the first month or two in the new year, and then after that you're going to see those new opportunities and stuff